Coming to you from deep within the heart of Texas in our secret underground bunkers, it's the New Republic Radio Show. I want to welcome everyone on this fine Tuesday to the Tuesday edition of the New Republic Show. I'm your host, Keith Clark, broadcasting out of the secretive underground bunkers of the New Republic studio deep in the heart of Texas. We're bringing you all the latest news, all the stuff that you just will not find on your ABCs, your NBCs, all the alphabet news out there, all the stuff that nobody wants to talk about, and of course, nothing that the left-wing media wants to talk about. We got a bunch of stuff going on today, so a bunch of different stories, so you're going to definitely want to stay tuned. Some of those stories are going to be about some of the emails they found in the Justice Department where they enlisted Media Matters to spin some of their bad press. We're going to be talking about some of the comments of the major Chinese general to be prepared for combat with Japan. We're going to be talking about Russia revealing their vast diamond mine. We're going to be talking about other subjects. I'm doing a new segment now. This is going to be our second segment of the Liberal Nonsense Show, the Liberal Nonsense segment, which I go over several different websites and find some of the just more outrageous ridiculousness from the left, and I either make fun of it while debunking it, and just basically set the record straight. But we're going to be talking about a bunch of different things like that. So if any of those interest you, please stay tuned. If not, I'm sure we'll have some other good stuff in there that you'll want to hear about. But secondly, I want to take you to our current contest, our YouTube contest we have going on. You can get yourself a free pair of Sennheiser CX200 headphones, inner ear headphones. They're worth $50. You can get them for free. All you have to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel, The New Republic Show. That's all you have to do. Go to our YouTube channel, click subscribe, and you're going to enter in to win a set of nice Sennheiser CX200 headphones. Now, once we get to our first 50 subscribers, we're going to be giving a set away. We'll also be having other contests, so it's definitely going to be worth clicking that subscribe button. I know many of you have lost your passwords, but this is a great time to either figure them out or go make a new YouTube account. So get on the ball, do that. If you need to press pause, whatever. Or if you want to do it just while you're listening. It's not like I have a lot of video going on, so you can definitely minimize me and be listening while you're clicking subscribe. So anyway, we're going to get to the show now. I have here a Daily Caller article that talks about the emails revealed the Justice Department regularly enlists Media Matters to spin press. Internal Department of Justice emails obtained by the Daily Caller show Attorney General Eric Holder's communication staff has collaborated with the left-wing advocacy group Media Matters for America in an attempt to quell news stories about scandals plaguing Holder and America's top law enforcement agency. Now, why is this such a big deal? Well, simply because Media Matters is supposedly a non-profit, I'm sure they are, but they're a non-profit organization that does not pay taxes, that's basically being enlisted by our government to cover up problems in our administration, in what Attorney General Eric Holder's doing with his staff and other things like that. Why would a website, a group that supposedly is looking for the truth, and of course they really are just a cover-up website, they basically report on anything they can find that could possibly in any way, shape, or form make the right look bad. But that's basically what their job is. Their job is to spin the truth and to basically cover up things. And my question is this: why does any of our government need people like this? Why do they need Media Matters to help them out? So I'm sorry, with all the stuff that's going on with Eric Holder, obviously there's some definite scandal information there that people need to dig and get more of. But I know Obama's covering it up. I know he's using, the privilege of presidency in that. But we really have to get to the bottom of that. Come on, people. I mean, 300 Mexican citizens dead, 1 American citizen dead. Come on. Media Matters trying to spin it, trying to basically take the pressure off of them. Just a bunch of ridiculousness. All right, moving on. Chinese general prepare for combat. That was his statement. Top Chinese general in unusual move tells troops to ready for combat with Japan. Now, I'm bringing this up for several reasons. All of you already know, it's all over the main news channels about all the stuff that we have going on in 3 different continents. Our embassies are being attacked. They're being overran by people that are, they're rioting. They're doing all kinds of things, burning American flags, destroying property. And, that is going on right now. But at the same time, now we have China talking to its troops, telling them to get ready for combat with Japan over the island of Senkakus. Well, of course, this has been an ongoing deal between Beijing and Tokyo, but it's very similar to the whole situation that we have with China and Taiwan, or Israel and Palestine. Now, everybody always makes a huge deal about the whole Israel and Palestine thing because, unfortunately, so many people in the American media, they hate the Jews, so they're going to bring it up anytime they can. But what we never hear talked about is the whole China and Taiwan situation. We don't ever hear anything about the Senkakus Islands with Tokyo and Beijing. But now they're on the edge of war. And of course, what's going to happen if China and Japan go to war, we're going to be dragged into it because we are a major protector of Japan. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't be, but just because of our treaties and everything, we would be obligated to. So, bigger point to all this is, not only is the Middle East burning under the watch of Mr. President Obama and his failed foreign policy, but now we have Beijing and Tokyo starting up. What kind of leadership is that? And what does that show you about our presidency? Well, I honestly hope that it shows you that our presidency that we have in the White House right now is ultimately a failure. I don't know how you would judge it in any other way. All of our foreign diplomacy is in tatters. Basically we have all these countries that are so upset at us. They're burning our embassies. They're picketing us. They're doing all these kinds of things. People are dying because of the way that we're handling our foreign affairs. Then on the home front, you have the simple fact that millions and millions of Americans are out of jobs. We have the highest job loss rate ever. We have the ridiculous amount of people without jobs. We have a very, very high poverty rate. People actually have less spendable money after you take into consideration inflation than they did during the Great Depression, and that is just sad. So I just wanted to bring this up because a lot of the news organizations are not talking about it. But yes, the whole Middle East thing is very important, and I do think it's important. But I just want to bring up this in addition to that because I think a lot of this is getting overlooked. And I know a lot of you folks, you don't get the time to watch the news channels 24/7. Of course, you wouldn't see much about this on there. But I just wanted to bring it up just so you know that in the back of your mind that not only do we have problems with the Muslim world with the Middle East, but we have problems with China and Tokyo right at this very moment. And what is our president doing? What is the White House doing to take care of this, to help this? You know, we have Israel and Iran at the brink of war, and now we have Tokyo and Beijing at the brink of war. I don't know what to tell you. This is unprecedented in my lifetime that we have had this much going on overseas, and we have a presidency that just completely just ignores it. And I don't know what else to say. If you have any comments, give me a call, 979-31-TALK-6 as usual. Just give me a call, give me some ideas on this. If you want to point something out, tell me something that I'm wrong, go ahead. If you want to compliment me, if you want to agree with me, go ahead. Anyway, now here I have another report from the Daily Mail Reporter. Russia reveals vast diamond source under 62 miles wide asteroid crater, which could possibly supply the world market for the next 3,000 years. Let that sink in. A diamond source that could supply the world markets for the next 3,000 years. It goes on to say supply under 35 million year old impact zone is 10 times bigger than the global reserves. Kremlin discovered the site in the 1970s, but kept it a secret until now to exploit tightly controlled market. Diamonds as Papagia astroblum rather in Siberia are twice as hard as normal, making them ideal for high precision scientific instruments and industry. Now, the reason why I bring this up is simple. Many of my critics, as well as, for instance, at this moment, Romney's critics, have said that Russia is basically out of the game. They're not a problem. We don't need to worry about them. And they brought up the fact that Romney said that Russia is one of our biggest worries in the world. And what does everybody always say? Oh, man, Russia's broke, man. What are they going to do? They can't be a world power again. They can't be a world military power. Well, guess again. They have 3,000 years of the world's supply of diamonds to make them rich. They have trillions of carats. What does that mean to us and everybody else? Well, it's simple. Now that Putin has taken over, he's very simply said that he is ramping up military production. He's going to make Russia a world power, a world military power again. And let me tell you something. With trillions of carats of diamonds, he can do exactly that. So you know what? To all my detractors, eat that. You said I was full of it. You said that they didn't have any money, that they were crumbling, that Russia was over and done with. Yeah. The Russian bear might have been down, but it wasn't down for the count. So, my big point is you need to be focused on that. You need to be thinking about that. I mean, I know the Middle East is a big situation right now, but when you have Russia with unlimited funds basically building every type of weapon known to man, and of course excelling at it, because let me tell you what, a lot of people think that Russia had all this old technology that was not all that great, and their planes weren't that great, and their tanks weren't that great, and you know, missiles and everything else. Well, let me tell you what, they still to this day make the best jet fighter that money can buy. 979-31-TALK-6 979-31-TALK-6. Give me a call, give me a comment, give me some ideas. Is something you want me to talk about? All right, moving on to our last section of the day, liberal nonsense. Now, this is a new section here on the show, as I was saying before. But basically what this is about is I just go around the net and I find some of the ridiculousness or the out-and-out lies that the left posts or prints or says on the news. And I basically either debunk it, make fun of it, or just tell the truth about it. This one comes from Liberal Land. That's Alan Combs' website, as some of you know who he is. But I only have one this go round. Why? Because it's funny. The entire media is focused on this little comment that Romney made about the 47% of people that don't pay taxes, that basically those folks were going to be the ones who voted for Obama, and there wasn't much he could do about that because, you know, that those guys that don't pay taxes, you know, they're not real worried about somebody that's going to basically raise taxes through the roof. So, you know, I mean, anybody that's not paying taxes, they don't care how high the taxes are. They're not paying them. So it's a completely understandable comment. I completely agree with it. And it's funny because he's actually telling the truth. He's actually putting it out there as reality is. But it's funny, the left-wing media, which is 99% of the media out there, is completely beating him up over it. And, you know, number one, they're mad because he basically told the truth and said that, look, there is a large built-in voting population for Democrats. And what that means is 47% of people basically are going to, by default, vote for Democrats because they're getting, you know, they're basically voting things from the Treasury to themselves. So they want to keep Democrats in power so that way they can continue to get more benefits, get more money, stay on the food stamp rolls longer and the unemployment longer and all that. And, you know, that's unfortunately human nature. But while I totally agree with that, one thing I want to bring up is the fact that the liberals are trying to spin this in such an odd way. I don't even know why they're arguing this. They're like, oh, well, you know, he said 47% of the people, and while that is obviously true, 47% of the population does not pay taxes. There's a large portion of those that are elderly and they just happen to be jobless and they're having a rough year and they're students and, you know, it's just they can't help it. Well, let me tell you what the facts are. 10% of that 47% is the elderly. That leaves 37% of people that don't pay taxes that aren't elderly. I can actually understand why the elderly don't pay taxes in some cases because they're retired and maybe they even have investments, but if anything, they just pay capital gains tax. So that makes sense that they don't pay taxes the regular way. But here's the thing, 37% of those people, they're trying to say that, oh, well, some of those folks, you know, they're having a rough year. And some of those folks are also students. Well, let me tell you something. It doesn't matter because the folks that are having a rough year, why are they having a rough year? It's because Obama has done nothing. Zero for jobs. He sat up there and wasted 2.5 years on Obamacare, and he's basically done nothing but play golf for the last year and a half. What has he done? Shovel-ready jobs that he admitted were not shovel-ready, and he laughed about it? What good does that do? Okay, so you have that small percentage of people that are having a rough year because they lost their job. Do you think at that point they're going to be mad because Romney said, you know, hey, that 47% that you're part of, you know, those people are automatically going to vote for Obama. Okay, you know what? So he mislabeled a few percent. And you know what? Those few percent don't care because they know why they're out of a job. So they're not going to vote. They're not going to vote for Obama. That doesn't make the media right saying that oh, well, he lied and said that all of that 47%. Who cares? You know, some of those students are screwed because they're getting out of college. They put all this time, money, and effort into a degree, and there are no jobs. And that's Obama's fault. But the funny part is, some of those people are still going to vote for Obama. You know, unfortunately, they're just stuck on that Democrat thing. But there are a lot of them that are graduating. They know why they don't have a job. So guess what? They're going to be voting for Romney, or they're going to be voting for a third party member, but they're dang sure not going to be voting for Obama. But here's the thing. So basically what the entire liberal media is trying to say is that this 47% number is wrong. That they're trying to say that, oh, well, there's a huge portion of it that's elderly, people that are having a bad year, and students. Well, let me tell you what. It's 10% of those that are elderly. So it's 37 of those people are jobless, and they are probably going to vote for Obama, because unfortunately that means that they are young, getting out of college. So that means they're probably going to be left-leaning. Unfortunately, they're not going to know a lot about politics, so they're probably going to vote for him anyway. And in the few, yeah, there are a few that are highly educated that actually know something about politics, that know why they're going to be jobless. And then, of course, you have the few people that had their bad year or whatever, and that's understandable too. But that's a very, very small percentage of that 47%. So, going back to all this, basically what I'm trying to say is 37% of people not paying taxes is ridiculous. Because, yeah, I'll give the elderly a pass. I'll give those 10% a pass. But 37% of people that don't pay taxes in the entire United States is ridiculous. They need to be paying something. If it's $500 a year, if you take 150 million people and they're paying $500 a year, that's something like $92 billion. But here's the thing. That's not a huge dent in things, but it makes a difference because they got skin in the game. And when people have skin in the game, when all these politicians start talking about raising taxes, they're going to be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What are you talking about, Mr. Obama? Raising taxes? I already pay $500 a year. You going to take it to $750? I don't want to pay that. So they're not going to vote for you. So that's the reason why I'm a big proponent of paying something. Paying something. Because you people don't get, you liberals don't get mad about all the money that's being wasted. Yeah, some of you talk about, oh, I hate it that some of it gets spent on war. You obviously don't care too much, because all you do is turn around and vote more taxes, more taxes, more taxes, more taxes. And the funny part is, you say, oh, tax the rich, tax the rich. Well, all those politicians like Obama find all kinds of ways to tax you. Just like taking away the Bush tax cuts, you're going to be taxed another $3,000 a year. They're going to find another way, just like throwing in Obamacare. That's another $1,600 to $1,800 a year of taxes that's going to go on you, Mr. Liberal. It's not going to go on the rich. Well, it will go on the rich, but the thing is, it's going on you too. So you can't be happy about that. Yeah, I'm getting back at the rich. Yep, it's a hollow victory for you. But you don't get that, because all you care about is taxing the rich and hurting those evil rich people. That's all you care about. You want your social justice so bad, you're willing to cut off your nose just to spite your face. And that, my friend, is stupidity. That's stupidity incarnate. And that is what the left is today. Because unfortunately, you're all about this whole idea of you didn't build that. You're all about this idea of, oh man, government made that happen. Taxpayers made that happen. You didn't have anything to do with that. Your brains, your intelligence, your smart, your new ideas had nothing to do with your success. You were either born with the spoon in your mouth, or you got lucky and the government in some way gave you a leg up. Well, let me tell you what. The only way Obama's little stupid remark about you didn't build that is correct, it's correct in the fact that humans in general did not build the society that we live in today. Because we built this society on the backs of our forefathers. And that is the only truth in that. We have our advances in science, in philosophy, in history, in mathematics, in whatever subject that you want, because of our forefathers. not because of their government. That was people that made the advances in physics. That was a person that made advances in philosophy, in economics. Those are people, not a government. And until you liberal idiots get that through your mind, you are going to continue to follow these invalids like Obama straight off the cliff. So go ahead and be a sheep, and he's going to lead you right off the edge. And when your dead carcass is laying there, they're going to shear you and sell the wool. So I usually like to try to leave the show on a positive note, and I am going to kind of do that. But I do hope that you folks go out and do some good deeds today. Spread some good information around. Go against the stigma of discussing politics with friends and family. There has to be some kind of debate. Yeah, keep it as nice as you can, but you got to spread knowledge. You can't let the ignorant stay in darkness forever. So yeah, go out, do some good deeds, be nice to people. Open a door for somebody, give somebody a smile. Just do something nice for somebody. You'll be surprised at how far that goodwill goes. As usual, give back to your community, because your community will give that all back to you. Alright guys, well, I'm going to leave you with a funny little song that I found today, and I thought it was great. So I'll be interested to see what the notorious GOP says about this. But anyway, have fun guys, and enjoy. This is Keith Clark. Later.
So it was a phrase that kicked off a political firestorm.
One remark.
4 little words.
You didn't build that.
Somebody else did.
Someone else made that happen.
Did you build your business? If you did, raise your hand. Take that, Mr. President.
And I realize there's more to the quote than that.
The remarks are out of context.
He simply said the roads and the bridges you didn't build.
I don't think it can be read that way.
So we wanted to take time to go back and play the entire segment right now.
Somebody invested in roads and bridges. If you got a business, that you didn't build that. You didn't build that. You didn't build that.
Oh.
You didn't build that.
What do we got here?
It's an air cannon for shooting marshmallows.
You didn't build that.
Mitt Romney strikes me so hard, it makes me feel like Shirley Sharaf. It's out of context. Those words aren't mine. Private sector is doing fine. Feels good. When the economy's weak, responding with a national security leak, Osama bin Laden, I killed. And that was a mission you didn't build.
You didn't build that. You didn't build that. You didn't build that.
If you've given $3 before, I'm asking again for a few dollars more. Clint Eastwood and the empty chair would be better than this Republican pair.
Shut up. It's my turn.
Let's rap together.
Go ahead.
You've got a lot to learn.
Mr. Ryan.
In his bout to retail and
Maybe it's just
a brighter shade of paleness.
Mr. Romney.
And his friends on Wall Street.
What I'm saying is
we're super packing heat. And here is a woman
Mitt
killed, but that was an attack ad you didn't build.
You didn't build that. You didn't build that.
I want everybody to give a huge round of applause to one of the best, Jennifer Granholm. Stop. Obama time. The race is still in play. I gotta be careful about what I say. And so, from the Australian nation, I will be introducing these strong translations. The Republican Party and the debt ceiling fight.
Ravings, the eccentric lunar right.
There are those who don't believe my birth certificate.
There are nut jobs on the internet.
To your guns. Keep on clinging to myself. I'll be singing. I'm so in love with you. What we need now is the Colbert Bomb. But just for a minute, let's all do the Trump. Yeah. Not bad, huh?
You didn't build that.
I'm curious about your reaction when the president said
You didn't build that.
That goes against everything I feel and love about this country.
You didn't build that.
Hogan, this is the real American booking. You smell what Barack is cooking. Morning in America. Not quite. It's pre-done, but we will soon see the light. Financial straits remain dire. You've got to remember, I did not start the fire. It was notorious GOP. And if you choose to vote for me, I will not just call you. Maybe. I am ready to go all the way, baby. That promise will be fulfilled. So join this chorus. You didn't build.
didn't build that. Tell your friends and neighbors and co-workers about this. You didn't build that. Get on Facebook. Get on Twitter. You didn't build that.
We've got a hashtag that I want everybody to use.
You didn't build that.
You could even try Google+. Anything is possible.
You didn't build that.
It's been very amusing to me to watch media outlets rush to provide the context.
But they're taking it out of context.
It doesn't matter.
Because they have that misleading soundbite.
Subtleties are not what the vote's about.
It's a worldview.
They want to win. They're not going to put anything in context.
There's no taking Obama out of context.
I don't think you can take the tone out of context.
An inflection can become a campaign ad.
The point the president was making is so basic. I don't even think anyone actually disagrees with it.
Obama should have known better. You don't put the subject anywhere apart from a predicate.
That was pretty good. I was actually going to say good morning.